Hey y'all, it's Jessica from Sloppy Swatches. Today I have the monthly polish awareness box for the month of May. This month, 10% of each sale will go to the National Stroke Association. There are 6 different makers, and I will try to link their social media down below, as well as the link for the National Stroke Association if you'd like to read more, and the link to shop the box. You are able to buy these individually if you'd like, or as the full set. I did purchase this box with a blogger's discount, and I'll go ahead and get into the swatch and review. So first up is Picking Up the Pieces by Nevermind Polish. This is described as a hot pink with a touch of shimmer and blue to purple to red chameleon flakies. This is a very bright, gorgeous mix. This is my first time trying Nevermind Polish, so I'll go ahead and show you a brush shot, and I'll show you how Picking Up the Pieces swatched on my natural nail. That hot pink base is more like a jelly with those flakies floating beautifully within. One coat went on super smooth, really easy, and really even. It is a little bit sheer here though, so I'll let that dry and then come back in and show you what my second coat looks like. For this second coat, I am going in for a bit of a thicker second coat, but it does pull this right to the edge of being opaque. I'm going to stop here, but if you wanted to go in for thinner coats, you may need to do 3. I love how these blue flakies bounce off that hot pink base. So here's a look at that completed mani before top coat. This one is going to dry down textured due to those larger flakies. A good top coat will help smooth it out and seal it all in. So here's a look from a different angle in direct sunlight without top coat here, so you can see how it kind of reflects off of that texture. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting, and then once more at an angle in direct sunlight. So next is Act FAST by Oh My Jewels. This is described as a creamy smooth red with a dash of a matte white multi-size flakies. So these are like glitters, really thin and very matte. I did have a good amount of settling towards the bottom of my bottle. I'll go ahead and show you a brush shot, but I definitely recommend tossing this one upside down for a little bit before you apply, or even shaking it really well. So here is my first coat. This polish is extremely opaque, really easy to use, but a little bit on the thicker side. I did get a good amount of glitter there with shaking it. I'm going to go ahead and show you what a second coat looks like just to even everything out. I definitely recommend going in a thinner with this one. I did have a little bit of pooling around the edges, but I love how this looks like blood with like the white platelets mixed in. I think it's very clever. So here's a look at that completed mani before top coat. This is another one. It dries down fairly glossy, but it does have a little bit of texture due to those glitters. So here's a look at the completed mani at a different angle in direct sunlight. This is my swatch photo underneath artificial lighting. And then once more at an angle in direct sunlight. That red just absolutely wanted to freak out my camera. So next up is Small Steps, Big Rewards from Alter Ego, and this is described as an olive green with micro bronze flakies. So this has a very bronze or gold feel to me on the nail with a lot of scattered flakies. This is such a gorgeous polish. I'll go ahead and show you a brush shot, and I'll show you how Small Steps, Big Rewards swatched on my natural nail. So this one does go on nice and easy, really smooth, but it does have a good amount of brush strokes, so you may just want to be mindful when applying and do nice long strokes. With this first coat, I am going to go ahead and cap the tip. I'll let that dry and come back in for a second. I almost had complete coverage at one coat, but I do feel like a second definitely deepens it up and adds to that deep bronzy color. Again, with the second coat, I'm being a little bit careful here due to the brush strokes, and I'm going to make sure that my final stroke is right down the center. So here's a look at that completed mani before top coat. This looks like such a beautiful like tiger's eye stone as you move it around on your nail. Here's a look from a different angle in direct sunlight. This is my swatch photo underneath artificial lighting, and then once more at an angle in that direct sunlight. Next up is Fighting Back from Pretty Beautiful Unlimited, and this is described as a peacock turquoise green with silver hollow micro flakies, teal to blue iridescent shifting glitter, blue micro shreds and flakies, as well as blue to aqua to violet ultra chrome flakies. So a really intense, gorgeous mix. I'll go ahead and show you a brush shot, and I'll show you how Fighting Back swatched on my natural nail. This does have a bit of a larger brush with this polish, which I absolutely love. Even with all of those glitters in here, it does go on nice and smooth. It's not gritty at all, and I had no trouble getting all of those flakies and nice and spread out on the nail. One coat makes for pretty awesome coverage. I'll let that dry and then come back in and show you what my second coat looks like. So here's a look at my second coat. I did go in for a bit of a thicker second coat, but I don't necessarily think that you need to. I think 2 thin coats is going to be completely enough to bring this one all the way opaque. So 2 coats, cap the tip, no problem at all. Here's a look at that completed mani before top coat. So maybe a slight texture going on here. A good top coat will help smooth that right out. I think this one would also look pretty cool matte with all of that shimmer in there. So here's a view from a different angle in direct sunlight. You can see all those little holographic glitters coming out. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting. And then once more at an angle in direct sunlight. So next up is Know the Signs from Sassy Pants Polish, and this is described as a royal or navy blue scattered holographic polish with various sized black holographic and opal iridescent glitters, as well as some other micro glitters and gold shimmers. So really pretty. I'll go ahead and show you a brush shot, and I'll show you how Know the Signs swatched on my natural nail. So here is my first easy coat. Again, I do feel like this has a bit of a jelly base here to keep all of those glitters nice and suspended. One coat went on nice and evenly, but a little bit sheer. So I'll let that dry and then come back in and show you my second coat. So here's a look at that second coat. You can see that the base dries down around those glitters a little bit and it's going to create a texture. I did go in for a nice thick second coat here, and it did bring this one right to the edge of being opaque. If you wanted to, you could also do 3 thin coats. So here's a look at that completed mani before top coat. So maybe just a little bit of texture, not a ton going on here, but enough that I think a good top coat will help bring out all of that sparkle. So here's a view from another angle in direct sunlight. This is my swatch photo under artificial lighting. And then once more at an angle in direct sunlight. So lastly today I have Survivor from Poshlish, and this is described as a shimmery lilac pearl with a seafoam green undertone. This is very mermaidy and ethereal, really pretty mix. I'll go ahead and show you a brush shot, and I'll show you how Survivor swatched on my natural nail. So here's a look at my first coat. Poshlish does have that nice wide brush, which I definitely appreciate. One coat goes on very sheer. It did go on nice and evenly, and there are some brush strokes here, but it's just a very beautiful, subtle wash of color. I'll let that dry and then come back in and show you what my second coat looks like. So here is the second coat. That's definitely going to build up all of that shimmer and a little bit of that lilac base. It was still quite sheer for me, though, at 2 coats, and it did leave some brush strokes, so I am going to make sure to cap the tip before I do my final coat. I'll let that dry and then come back in and show you what my third coat looks like. So here I'm going in for a pretty heavy-handed third coat, but this is going to bring this one right over the edge of being opaque. Makes for a very gorgeous ethereal finish on the nail, and especially in sunlight. So here's a look at that completed mani before top coat. It is going to show a little bit of those imperfections on your nail due to all of that shimmer. You can see that patch glaring on my index nail there. Here's a view from another angle in direct sunlight. This is just magic in sunlight. This is my swatch photo underneath artificial lighting. And then finally at an angle in direct sunlight. So that wraps up today's swatch and review of the May Monthly Polish Awareness Box. These are going to start being available for pre-order on April 26th all the way through May 9th. I'll link that storefront down below where you can access them. These will be $52 plus shipping for the box, or $11 individually plus shipping as well. So if you'd like to see more photos, I do have those available on my blog at sloppyswatches.com, or you can follow me on Instagram at sloppyswatches. So thanks so much for watching, guys. See you next time.